What's up, everybody? It's Dynast Amir, Search for a Huru. Thank you so much for joining us this Friday afternoon. Make sure you guys are attending. Make sure you guys are attending your local Juneteenth celebration. Juneteenth is actually a lot of cities are holding or hosting Juneteenth celebrations. Make sure you guys go and celebrate. You know, y'all want to celebrate July 4th and Memorial Day weekend and Valentine's Day and all these other weekends, but there is a large number of Black people who have absolutely no clue about Juneteenth. So make sure you guys are out in the streets this weekend or next weekend. I'm pretty sure your city will be hosting or holding some type of Juneteenth event. So guys, make sure you go out and support. Please support. It means a lot. But today's topic is Black people, at the very least, need a union in order to get reparations. Now, a lot of people say that we need a nation. But I'll even say, okay, for some, they'll say nation is unrealistic. So it's like, okay, whatever. Some will say we, at the very least, need an African nation to claim us and back us. Some say that's unrealistic. And I say, okay, whatever. But at the very least, you need a union. Now, union, for the most part, means unity. And unions are very common in the workforce in corporate America. Shout out to Amadou. Now, what's the purpose of a union? A union protects the best interest of its employees, of the employees that the union represents. Why? Because for the most part, corporations, corporations are more concerned with their stock price and their corporate profits than they are their employees. So the union comes in, negotiates on behalf of the employee, represents the best interests of the employee, and is pretty much the middleman or the agent of the employee when dealing with the employer. Now, many employers or corporations are anti-union. They feel as if they don't need to deal with unions because of the local labor laws. They think the labor laws are enough protection for the employee, which in some cases is true, some cases is not. Because again, at the end of the day, the corporation is more concerned about their stock prices, their stockholders' profits, than they are the well-being of the employee. Trust me. If the well-being of the employee is going to, I guess, conflict with profits, the well-being of the employee is going to be put on the back burner in the name of profit. Eric, get out of the chat room. Okay, we don't have time to deal with fairy tales. Eric, get out of the chat room. We don't have time to deal with fairy tales. So again, the union stands, well, I guess the union protects the best interest of the employee. Now, we're trying to have a serious conversation here, and he's talking about claiming indigenous status. I don't have time to deal with the copper colored, Hennessy colored Moors. I don't have time. Okay, you want your indigenous status. You have all these indigenous nations already set up in America. They got their casinos. They already have everything. So go join the nation. Navajo, Cherokee. Go join them. See if they'll let you in. We don't have time to be dealing with these. I'm not black. I'm not African. I'm a member of the copper-colored, Hennessy-colored, chicken saw Olmecan tribes from Turtle Island. We don't have time for it today. I don't have time for it. Go. There's plenty of those of the tribes who have already set up. They're in North Dakota, South Dakota. They got reservations with casinos in California. Go see if they'll let you in. We don't have time for the fairy tales. But anyways, so again, the union representatives dealt with the employer. And for some reason, if the union representatives are the employee and the employer cannot come to an agreement of terms on salaries, benefits, or whatnot, the employees went on strike. And it wasn't you didn't, I guess you went on strike. It was mandatory. It was mandatory to go on strike. It wasn't up for debate. If the union cannot come to terms with the employer, you go on strike. Period. Now, of course, the employer will bring in temp employees and try to continue to function and keep it moving. But depending on how powerful the workforce is, the company was still affected by the strike, especially when it comes to stock price. If you notice, companies that usually, if their employees go on strike, it cuts into the stock price. Even though an employer might seem as if they're not sweating, behind closed doors, they're sweating. Because there's so much that goes into building a corporation. You have to properly train the employees. If you're dealing with a service-based company, the customers already have a relationship with their person that's servicing them. So it's much more deeper than just, okay, let's get rid. Okay, so the employees are going on strike or whatever, bring in temps. It's much more to it. So for the most part, when you're dealing with unions, unions are effective. So since Black people don't have a nation, and for the most part refuse to have a nation, since Black people refuse for the most part to file a claim via an African country, the only solution or the idea that makes most sense in order for people to take reparations serious. I mean, it's starting to pick up. There's actually a panel that's going to take place next week. There's a panel that's going to take place next week in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill or whatever. is Black America needs a union as a whole. Black America needs a union. And that's what we don't have. We are all over the place. We're all over the place. We don't have a set union. We don't have set union leaders who are going to act in our best interest. Now, the Congressional Black Caucus, who's supposed to be our union leaders, are more concerned with illegal immigrants and Trump's tax returns than they are Black people. So basically, we don't have the proper union even set up, our union representatives in place, quite frankly. As you can see, our union leaders, who are supposed to be our union leaders, again, the Congressional Black Caucus. Shout out to Monifa. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Fafu Malao, Bawoni. They are not operating in our best interest. And these are the leaders that were leaders, quotation marks, who were handpicked to represent us, but they're not. They're not serious about reparations or anything. So before we even move forward or even taken seriously, we need a union. In this union, you pay union dues, which is a problem because, Black people do not want to fund anything as a collective except for the Nike store and Jordans and all that. We'll fund that in a heartbeat. No problem. We'll fund that in a heartbeat. But when it comes to something like this, politics, we're not going to fund it. So in order to have an effective union, we have to fund it. You have to pay your union dues. We have to nominate the church building fund. Yeah, we'll definitely fund the church building fund. And make sure Creflo took your dollars, stole your dollars, make sure he gets a private jet. We'll fund that, no problem. But getting what we're owed for the free labor that our ancestors put in and built this country, we definitely won't fund. We don't want to fund that, but we're going to have to. So you got to pay union dues. We need to hire union representatives who represent our best interest. And then when they go to Capitol Hill or White House or wherever, if the U.S. government, which is for the most part the U.S. corporation, the employer, if they don't, shout out to Mr. Granger, if they do not serve our best interest, or if they cannot come up with an agreement that makes everybody happy or everybody satisfied, then we have to go on strike. And see, Black people aren't willing to do that. Strike means you check out. Because in corporate America, going on strike, if you're part of a union, it's not optional. You go on strike. And that doesn't necessarily mean you move. That means you have to take yourself out of the system. Meaning, okay, professional athletes, you don't show up for a game. We can't go to work. I heard about that. I'll be in Senegal actually in October for Maga. I mean, we go on strike. We go on strike here in America. We go on strike. We check out. No voting. None of that. You try to disconnect yourself from the system as much as possible. That's what you do. I will be in Senegal from like October 12th to maybe like the 23rd or 24th, something like that. I should stay longer, but something like that. I'm gonna go to Senegal. And I'm gonna try to go to Cape Verde for a couple of days, or go to Gambia. And definitely, I'm gonna go see the. Of course, I'm gonna see Hamadou. That's my brother. Yeah, I'm not. If nothing tangible is on the ballot, I'm not voting. But we can't even get black people to do that. Instead, black people, I have to vote for the least of two evils. I'm like, are you serious? What are you gonna get tangible from that? So we can't even agree on that. And if you ask black people, what have you gained from voting? They can't articulate anything. Just a bunch of CNN liberal talking points, or Fox News Republican conservative talking points. CBC members are up for re-election in 2020. Don't give them one vote. Not one vote. But man, Dynast, what you talking about, man? We gotta vote, man. Man, our ancestors died. Our ancestors died for us to vote. No, no VOTEP. No VOTEP. Don't let these VOTEPs guilt you into voting. Don't allow these VOTEPs. Dude, I'm just saying, not voting will wake up America. If black people say we're going on strike, we're not voting, that has power. But we won't. So that's what I'm saying. We at least need a union to represent our best interests, who are serious. Black people as a collective. CBC is not a union. Roland Martin is not a union member or a representative. Let's see here. All these black people you see on TV are not going to represent us. Now, stop giving away your vote. You ain't got shit to lose by holding on to your vote. Nothing. You have nothing to lose. African units. We did a video on that. How can you have an African Union but no global African unity? How? How can you have an African Union but no global African unity? That's what I'm saying. Union dues could be $5 every 2 weeks. That's $10 a month. There's 55 million of us. That's almost half $1 billion. You know how much moves we can make with $500 million? I'm just saying. But we refuse to. So at the very least, black people need a union. No union is going to be no reparations. It's going to be tough. Because again, you don't want the nation part. So you got to at least have a union. And if you think the Congressional Black Caucus is the union, are the union leaders, you're confused. Mr. L.T. Nimba, the African Union is working to unify the global African unity. This is why the president of Ghana is touring the CARICOM region. But African leaders have been touring the whole planet since the end of colonialism. I mean, you know. I need to see something documented as part of policy. Then we could talk. So yeah, just wanted to come on and share that. Listen, I'll take a call. If you guys want to hop on, let me know. Send me an email. I mean, our civil rights continue to get violated every day. Hold on, let me show you this video in Arizona. Hold on one second. Hold on, let me show you this video out of Phoenix. Here we go. Let me show you this video. And after seeing this video, if you just don't understand how our so-called union representatives or just union representatives are failing us, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Don't give them your vote. Oh, let me play this video for you guys real quick. Hold on one second. Let me plug this in. Yeah, I mean, I just again, our so-called union leadership has completely failed us. If this right here could still continue to go on in 2000 and what year are we in? 19? If incidents like this are still going on in 2019, our so-called union representatives, the Black Caucus, and all these other so-called talking heads that get on TV and run their mouth all day have completely failed us. But for some reason, we have to have the same conversation here we go.
Get out the fucking car! Get out the fucking car right now! Yes, get out now! Get out the fucking car!
Recording? Yeah, I'm recording it.
Put your hands up. I don't give a Put your hands up. Hands up.
When I tell you to do something, you do it.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm just trying to
You're not complying with me.
Yes, I am.
When I tell you to do something, you do it.
I am. I'm complying with everything, sir.
Hey, right now, shut your mouth.
Put the other feet down.
Hey, whoa, sir, come down. What's going on here? Oh, here. Attacking a lady, man? Really? Get the child down.
Now, the lady has a baby in her hand. Has a baby in her hand. But, I mean, you got these I mean, again, I keep saying this. Okay, the Central Park 5 documentary comes out. The Central Park 5. Oh, man, I can't believe what they're doing to the Central Park 5. I can't believe it. Okay, so then here comes the Central Park 6. There's going to be Central Park 7. You know, it's going to be the same shit over and over. But no one wants to go on strike. No one wants an escape route. But we swear that if we vote Joe Biden instead of Donald Trump, that everything is just going to change. We just got to vote Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or, you know, all these, any other left-wing politician, that all this is going to change after Election Day. All of it's just going to change. They are all the same people, all the same.
That's how y'all treat black people, huh? Can someone just defuse the situation here?
All right, I've seen enough, but I'm just saying, people. Our so-called union representatives have completely failed us. Completely failed us. And I want to say that the chief of police in Phoenix is a black woman. You know, I want to say that the chief of police, and this is Turtle Island. Yeah, but see, brother, see what happened, brother, is that they didn't have their correction status. See, they didn't have their correction status, brother. See, they don't know their true identity as Hebrew Israelite, indigenous, copper-colored, Hennessy-colored Moors. And see, if they just would have read from the Black's Law Dictionary, brother, about our indigenous status to Morocco, and see, they didn't know about the Treaty of Morocco, brother. See, that wouldn't have happened, brother. See, if they would have just claimed a Moorish national correction status, brother, see, that wouldn't have happened, brother. See, that's all that needed. That's all they needed to do, brother. See, if they would have just pulled out their Moorish national ID card, identification card, brother. All they had to do, see, pay me, give me $200. See, give me $200, brother. I will go to the courthouse and give you your correction status. And so next time that happens, brother, just pull out your identification, sovereignty, Moorish, chicken saw, Olmecan card, brother, and that won't happen. Y'all laughing, but I mean, I've heard this before. Well, see, brother, Michael Brown would have gotten killed, brother, if he just would have knew he was a Moor. See, if he would have known his Moorish national status, he wouldn't have got shot. His Moorish indigenous national status. He would have got shot, brother. Yeah, brother, if he just would have had his chicken saw Moorish identity status card, brother. And see, if he just would have told the police that he is a sovereign Mo from Turtle Island and that the treaty of between America and see, America is really Israel. And see, we have a treaty with Morocco. This wouldn't have happened. This could have been avoided, brother. The Chickasaw Mo from Turtle Island from Morocco. Because see, brother, we ain't black, we Moroccan. And so we have a treaty with Morocco. So that's why if they just would have followed the treaty and you know, they just would have known about the treaty between us and Morocco, that wouldn't have happened, brother. The s'mores. See, you just got to get your Moorish nationality status, brother, and you will be fine, brother. Just get your nationality, Moorish nationality, Hebrew Israelite, Chickasaw, Olmec status, and see, this won't happen because you don't know your status. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining. Make sure you go to Search for Hulu on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for the super chats. Fafu Malao, Eshe, Fafu Malao for the super chat. Modupe. Until next time, family. Peace.